Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Quality is the pride of workmanship. With this, I would like to say never compromise with your work. Do your best work and give out a good quality product at the end. Today, we are going to continue the lesson Quality by John Galsworthy. This story is about a struggling shoemaker's dedication to his work. The author knows him as someone who thinks and works with the passion of an artist, to the limit that shoes he makes are masterpieces in themselves. But in the end, the story tells us about the sad loss of art and quality in today's world of mass produced big brands and consumerism. So, this was the lesson about the struggling shoemaker who was very dedicated to his work and always in the end give out a quality work product to the customers, and he always thinks of satisfying his customers. So here we see the author going to Gessler Brothers shop and buying shoes. So whenever he buys shoes, it retains to him from for a very long time because of the quality of the shoe. So he has no time to again, he doesn't wants to go again and again to this shop, because once he buys it retains for a very long time. So we saw this story, half the story has been over. Now let us continue with the rest of the story. So here we saw that the author went to the shop and he wanted to buy a boots there, and he ordered for once. So once and space only, I went absent-mindedly into his shop in a pair of boots bought in an emergency at some large firm. He took my order without sewing me any leather, and I could feel his eyes penetrating the inferior covering of my foot. When he spoke at last, the tone was not one of anger, nor of sorrow, nor open of contempt, but there was in it something quiet that froze the blood. He put his hand down and pressed a finger on the place where the left boot was not quite comfortable. Thus are not my boots. I would urge you, dear, no. So once the author went to the shop and he was wearing a shoe which he didn't buy here. For emergency, he bought from some other shop. So once when he entered, this man, the Gessler brother, he saw the pair of shoes. He was not happy to look at that shoes. So he didn't utter a single word also. He was just continuously looking at the shoe. And he was not in anger, he was not in sorrow. But after a long time, he opened his mouth and he started to say something. And he told him that this boot doesn't belong to him. He has not stitched these boots, he told finally. And then, as if something had given way within him, he spoke long and bitterly. It was the only time I ever heard him discuss the conditions and hardships of his trade. So after a long time, this Gessler brother, he opened his mouth and finally he spoke about the conditions and the troubles and whatever the problems they are facing in their trade, in this business. Thus big firms have so self-respect. They get it all. They get by advertisements, not by work. They take the way from us who loaf our boots and our games to this. Presently, I have no work. Every year I get less, and you will see. So here what happened? He is talking about the big firms. Big firms means the big companies who have only the advertisement. So through the advertisement, they are selling the products. But when you look at the quality of the product is not that worthy. Okay, for the money we pay. So here the Gessler brother is also talking about the quality, the poor quality of the big firms, which the products of the big firms. So he is very unhappy with that, and but he says that that is what is going on in this world in today's life. But the work what he has done, the Gessler brother, he always think about the quality. He has to give the best quality to the customers and satisfy the customers. That was the motto of their life. So for that, he was saying that now in the present day, his work has come down. He has got very less orders, and every day the orders are going less and less because people are falling for the advertisement, not on the quality. Okay, so this is what he told the author. And looking at his lined face, I saw things I had never noticed before, bitter things and bitter struggle, and what a lot of grey hairs. There seemed suddenly in his red beard, as best as I could, I explained the circumstances of those ill-omened boots. But his face and voice made so deep an impression that during the next few minutes I ordered many pairs. They lasted longer than ever, and I was not able to go to him for nearly 2 years. So here what happened again, he was like the way the Gessler brother was talking about his struggles and his pains was really very bitter, and he has become very old, by now. So the author was feeling very bad, the way he was explaining whatever problems, he felt very bad and got very impressed by the deep work, the attachment he had towards its work. So the author was very impressed by him. So after a few minutes, he just ordered for many pairs of shoes. So whatever shoes he buy from this Gessler brother lasted for a very long time. So here this man, the author, now he is ordering for a huge number of shoes, that is many numbers of shoes. So as he ordered so many shoes, now this is going to last for a even more much longer time for the author. So nearly 2 years. Okay, so whatever shoes he ordered, now these shoes lasted him for about 2 years. It was many months before my next visit to his shop. This time it appeared to be his elder brother, but then I saw that it was indeed himself, but how aged and wan. So here what happens after 2 years, long period of time, this author is going back to the shop. So now he looks at the shopkeeper, that Gessler brother. So it looks as if this elder brother was standing there, but actually it was not the elder brother. This was the same person from whom the author used to buy the shoes. So he was looking more aged and worn, his face. So, well, Mr. Gessler, how are you? I am buddy well, but my elder brother is dead. Oh, I am sorry for your loss. Yes, he was a good man. He made a good boot, but he is dead. Do you want any boots? I have beautiful piece. And he touched the top of his head, where the hair had suddenly gone as thin as it had been on that of his poor brother, to indicate, I suppose, the cause of his death. So here, the author is just inquiring about how is he and how is the work going on. So he says everything is good, only my brother is dead. So the author feels very sorry for his dead brother. He says yeah, he's no more, he was very good. He was appreciating his brother, that he was a very good workman, and he used to do very good, very beautiful boots. So saying this, he was feeling very sad, and he was like asking whether he wants something else he wants to buy today. I ordered several pairs. It was very long before they came, but they were better than over. Only one simple could not wear them out, and soon after that I went abroad, and it was over a year before I returned. So here what happened? The man again ordered many pairs of shoes, and he takes them. So again, this number of shoes are going to last for him for a very long time. So after some time, he went abroad, and after many years, he returned from that place. And the first shop I went to was my old friend's. I had left a man of 60. I came back to one of 75, pinched and worn, who Glingsley this time did not at first know me. Do you want any boots? I can make them quickly. I would is a slack time. Please, please, I want boots all around, every kind. I really wanted to help him and ordered several pairs that day. So, after coming back from abroad, the first place the author visited was this Gessler's brothers' shop. So now, after when he left, he was 60, and now he is about 75. So now he is looking very old now. The Gessler brother is looking very old enough. So now he, as soon as he entered the Gessler brother, he was not able to identify the author. So he has forgot his identity also. So now he is asking whether do you want any boots. I have a very good quality boots, and I'll very quickly I'll make boots for you and I'll give you. He's telling the author. So the author was looking very he looked very in a pity way on this Gessler brother. So as soon as he asked, he said, yes, I want several pairs of boots. So he ordered many pairs of boots, looking at the pittiness of this Gessler brother. I had given those boots up when one evening they came. One by one I tried them on, in shape and fit, in finish and quality of leather. They were the best I had ever made. I flew downstairs, wrote a check and posted it at once with my own hand. A week later, passing this little street, I thought I would go in and tell him how splendidly the new boots fitted. But when I came to where his shop had been, his name was gone. I was very much disturbed. So here what happened, after some time the boots were being delivered to the author. So here, after trying out all the pairs, he was very satisfied. Even after so many years, the quality and the fitness of the boots were the just same as before. Okay, so he was very happy and very satisfied with the work done by the Gessler brothers. So he was very happy. So he just took a check and he wrote a check and he posted with his own hands. So he was very happy. So he paid the amount to the Gessler brother. So after a few weeks, he was passing in the same street. So he wanted to visit the shop and just tell the Gessler brother that the shoes were just fitting very much. He was very happy and satisfied with the boots that has been made by those Gessler brother. So he is going and looking out for the shop. Suddenly what happens, the shop was missing. The name of the shop wasn't there in that street at all. So he got very disturbed. So he is going to that particular shop and he is inquiring about the name of the shop. Is Mr. Gessler in? No, sir, but we can attend to anything with pleasure. We have taken the shop over. Yes, but Mr. Gessler? Oh, he is dead. Dead? But I only received these boots from him last Wednesday week. Ah, the poor old man starved himself. Slow starvation, the doctor called it. You see, he went to work in such a way would keep the shop on. Wouldn't have a soul touch his boots except himself. So here, when he asked about the Gessler brother, the author is talking to somebody who was standing there. And when he inquired about the Gessler brother, he said that he is dead. So the author was not able to believe him. He said, last Wednesday only I came and I bought the boots and I paid him the payment also. So he said, no sir, because of starvation, that man has passed away. So this was the information the author got from the new shop owner there. He was very surprised now. Starvation? Why was he starved? When he got an order, it took him such a time, people won't wait. He lost everybody and then he would sit going on and on. I will say that for him. Not a man in London made a better boot, but look at the competition. He never advertised, would have the best leather too and do it all himself. Well, there it is. What could you expect with his ideas? But starvation? That may be a bit flowery, as the saying is, but I know myself. He was sitting over his boots day and night to the very last. You see, I used to watch him, never gave himself time to eat, never had a penny in his house, all went in rent and leather. How he lived so long, I don't know. He regularly let his fire go out, he was the character. But he made good boots. Yes, he made good boots. So here the author is having a conversation with the new shopkeeper over there who has took over the Gessler brothers shop. So he was very surprised that this man has died with starvation. So why has he died with starvation? He was asking. So the new shopkeeper, he was explaining about the Gessler brother, how he was. He was very much dedicated to his work. He was so dedicated to his work that he never had time to eat and take care of himself. So whatever, and there was no money also left with him, because whatever money he used to get for his shoes, for the boots, the people who pay for his boots, he always spent on the leather and on the the rent of the shop. So he had no money to save, to save for himself. So whatever money he is getting, he is again spending on the to buy the shoe. So he is not actually getting the real amount of, and he is not getting enough profit from the work he is doing, because he is always thinking about that he has to give the best quality to the customers and satisfy the customers. That was the only motto of this Gessler brothers in his life. So he always worked towards the quality. Okay, so he was not running behind the money. So he never used to advertise also. So that's the reason why he was not very famous, and at the end he died with starvation, because he did not give time to himself for eating and other things. So because of this he died. But his work, the person who took over the shop also was talking about the quality of the product he used to give. So author also was satisfied with his answer. Yes, he always gave a very good quality product. So what is the moral that we get from this story, ma? We get that to become a master at any skill, it takes the total effort of your heart, mind and soul working together in unison. So only when we put everything, our heart, our mind, our soul, everything together in a particular thing, everything together simultaneously, we have to take our efforts. So only when then we can be a master in any skill. So any work we do, only when we put our total effort, we can succeed in it and give out a very quality product. Quality product means very best product in our life. So I hope you all understood the lesson and the moral of this lesson. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.